Hey guys, it's Chyna Kendle Rose. I'm checking in. It's December 18th. I am still up at 12:38 a.m. Always up thinking of a master plan. So tonight I decided to read you guys a chapter of my book called The Scars Beneath Her Smile. You can find it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. But tonight I'm going to share with you chapter 12, which is called The Two-Faced Joker. Hope you guys enjoy it. I welcome your feedback. Maxwell surprised Aaliyah with an all-expense-paid trip to Las Vegas with her girlfriends for her birthday weekend. He even offered to take care of Naomi and Autumn while she was away. Aaliyah, of course, gladly accepted, then began to pack. Who wouldn't? As she was packing, she was thinking to herself, that is why I love this man. I won't ever give him up. He's too good to me. Before she took off into the friendly skies, she put that juicy on him to extend her gratitude for his generous gesture. He went straight to sleep, and for a minute, he too was flying the friendly skies. The next evening, Maxwell hosted a spade night. His family and friends, including his 2 children, were there. The adults were talking loud and belligerent. They were sipping on Hennessy and Coke and passing joints back and forth. Joints. Back and forth while slapping their cards down on the table and talking shit like black people do when we play spades. They lived directly across the street from a Kmart, and all the children in the neighborhood would come and play in this huge parking lot. This gave them great space for running, riding bikes, and playing games. When Autumn went into the house to grab a cold drink, Maxwell caught a glimpse of her. Lust quickly filled his eyes. Autumn could feel him watching her. Not making eye contact with anyone, she hung her head low instantly, falling into a trance because she knew what was coming next. She kept her cool by walking by the table of adults that were getting wasted. Breathing deep, her heart once again was pounding in her chest, so loud that her eardrums were thumping to the same rhythm. She silently prayed that he would be too occupied with his company to give her any attention. Her hope soon failed. Maxwell grabbed her by the arm, asking if she could help him refresh the snacks for the guest. My turning page skills are a mess. Autumn understood that was code for assume the position. With every step she took towards the kitchen, her entire body went numb. Even her ears had tapped out, leaving her walking lifeless. Once they reached the kitchen, Maxwell began yelling, "This bathroom is a mess and we have guests over. Do you want them to think we're dirty people?" That was a cover-up for whomever was watching as he pushed her into the bathroom. He closed the door quickly and quietly. Looking Maxwell straight in the eyes, Autumn sarcastically said, "I'm sure if they knew what you were doing to me, they would feel that way anyhow." You could see the steam blowing out of his ears, and without a second thought, he backhanded her across the face, and then caught her before her entire body hit the floor. "Oh, you're being disrespectful now. After all I've done for you? You must think you're grown. I definitely don't have a problem showing you what grown-ups do." Autumn was in shock from being slapped. She couldn't speak, trembling with fear, and she held her bloody lip while she watched Maxwell snort a line of coke from the side of the tub. Autumn closed her eyes that burned with tears to pray silently. "Oh Lord, please take me away from this bad man. Please bless me so that I never have to see his face ever again. Amen." She wished that when she opened her eyes, she would be alone in the bathroom. Hell alone in this entire house, But reality set in when she peeled her lids open. Maxwell was standing in front of her, looking like a drug version of the Incredible Hulk. Instead, he was the Incredible Demon. The coke had taken effect. The rims around his eyes were red with a raw look to them. He had white powder on the borders of his nostrils, and on his lips he wore an evil grin. I told you from the beginning to keep your mouth shut. If you had listened, I wouldn't even be upset right now. You'll learn a good lesson tonight, he said to her. He aggressively grabbed her by her pants, ripping them down to her ankles. He then forcefully snatched off her shirt, exposing her bare breast. Yeah, let me see that beautiful body. You have great tits to be so young. You are nice and ripe. Maxwell pushed Autumn onto her knees before shoving his fingers into her vajayjay. Deep and hard. I see that you're talking back, saying bad words to hurt Daddy's feelings. I need to clean your mouth out. Open it. He thrusted his D inside her mouth, bloody lip and all. He demanded her to suck on it like it was her favorite chocolate ice cream pop, which she had completely lost an appetite for. He had placed his hand firmly on the back of her head to make sure that she was taking it as far as it would go into her throat. He threatened that if she gagged, she would have to suck it all over again. Autumn's jaws were crimping and her lips were throbbing from the slap. Finally, the nasty bastard exploded, all in her mouth, demanding her to swallow it. Maxwell didn't see an innocent little girl in front of him. What he saw was his private horror. Autumn strained to keep her composure. She wanted to vomit. She also wanted to bite his dick off and stick it in his mouth. She was tired of being violated. Evil feelings had begun to come over her. She plotted quickly in her mind, thinking of ways to poison Maxwell as she swallowed his demon babies. He walked over to the sink to clean up before heading back out to their guests, who hadn't even noticed that they were missing. Before Maxwell left the bathroom, he turned to Autumn and said, I'll bet you will remember next time to keep quiet, won't you, sweet pea? Get used to me. I'm here to stay. Before walking out the bathroom, he straightened up his shirt and did a final face check in the mirror. I'm going to ask your mother to marry me. That way, you'll be mine forever. Then he walked out of the door. Autumn sat on the floor, hugging her knees, rocking back and forth, thinking to herself, he wants to marry my mom? What a fucking joke. Then the realization of what he said really hit her. Oh my gosh. I know how in love my mom is with this man and his money. This torture will never end, she thought to herself. It was at that moment she felt trapped within the four walls as she sat there crying her eyes out. Autumn had been going through this well over a year now, and Aaliyah, her mother, still hadn't suspected a thing because she was too busy shopping, getting her hair and nails done, and traveling to see that her daughter was dying internally right before her eyes. Autumn's thoughts channeled to her father. Where's my dad when I need him? She stood to her feet and stared at the mirror. She no longer recognized the girl she saw. Her eyes were filled with emptiness. She was face to face with a familiar stranger, asking, "Who are you?" Sadly, there was no answer. One thing was for certain. She had mastered wearing a mask to cover the ugliness that consumed her. Autumn washed her face, brushed her teeth, straightened her clothes, and went back to join the crowd. Maxwell had trained her to act as if everything was good. She took a deep breath and walked back through the house, wearing a smile on her face and a scar on her heart as she refreshed the guests' drinks and snacks. That was chapter 12 from The Scars Beneath Her Smile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I welcome feedback, so let me know what you think. Hopefully it intrigued you. This is somewhat of a true story, and I wrote this book in hopes to inspire people who have been through something similar in their lifetime and they don't know how to deal with it. It's not just about the sexual abuse. It's a lot more twisted, tangled stories in here too. It's not just for women. It's for everybody. So I hope you enjoyed it. And again, let me know what you think. All right. Good night.